Hello, welcome, Devil Sniper here, and today I'm bringing you episode number 23 of our Crit Mode with West Ham United. We're going to start off straight away with a home tie against Manchester City in the FA Cup. Starting to get to the latter stages of the FA Cup, so this is a massive game. As you'll see, we're still sticking with that 4-2-2-2 formation. Kiarte, Noble as our holding defenders. Obviously, down in Classy pushing forward, and of course, up top we've got Yusuf Poulsen and Sacco. Obviously, Carroll is not playing at this moment in time. Manchester City going with their tried and tested formation, tried and tested lineup. Pretty impressive. Some big names on there. Obviously, Negredo up top we have to keep an eye on. Maybe slow, but he's deadly in that box. The only problem I'm finding so far with this formation is we're sitting too deep. We're inviting teams on. As you can see, early stages of the game, Navas with a fantastic... No, I think it was Nasri with the shot there. Absolute ripper of a shot. And it's just highlighting the issues we're having with this formation. Normally, we have a set of iron gates, which we firmly shut in front of every single team we come up against. But as you can see, we just seem to be opening the floodgates instead. This formation just seems to make us sit too far back. The two CDMs seem to be sitting too far back. We're compensating with that with Klassen, who's starting to sit too far back. And it's just inviting Manchester City onto us constantly. As you can see, Nasri just literally walking through our defence, dominating the situation, knocks it into Negredo. And that is a huge save from Adrian in the West Ham goal. But it's just constantly, the players are getting frustrated with it. And I think it's summed up by another atrocious tackle. I will come out and admit that. You know, I may be the manager, but I can admit when it's a bad tackle. And again, David Klassen there, that is a god-awful tackle. I will have words with the young man, you know, but what I won't have words with him about is his passion. And what he's showing to me is his passion. A little bit of anger, but a lot of passion. This formation is not suited to our style of play. It's really frustrating, and I think it's a formation that we're going to have to drop because I feel we can't drop any more points. You know, Spurs, I think Spurs are 4 points away from us. We'll find out in the Crystal Palace game if we put a league table up, but I think Spurs are 4 points away from us, and we're starting to drop too many points. The loss against Manchester United, the drop points against Arsenal, though I feel that a 0-0 scoreline was probably the fairest result. And obviously at this moment in time, Manchester City are just battering us away. They're defending for themselves. It's very easy. Our defending, we're making very complicated. We're leaving massive gaps, massive holes. I mean, Khedira there, what an opportunity. If it wasn't for Adrian being probably the best keeper in the Premier League, I mean, we should be 1-0 down. But you can see the issues we're having. We're sitting too far back. We're leaving gaping holes. Highlighted there as Negredo picks up the ball, hits Adrian and goes in. Again, he found himself in acres of space. Acres of space. When we were playing the 4-1-2-1-2, we didn't have this issue. Now, essentially, we technically have more defensive midfielders, but it's just not working on our play style, the way we like to play the game. But Reedy's been pushed up top. Yes, Winnie Reed pushed up top, knocking that ball into Yusuf Poulsen. Poulsen finds some space, and he sticks it onto the post, and the follow-up is cleared by Manchester City. That is such a shame. Would have been a great opportunity. The first real attacking opportunity we've had in the game, coming so late on, and unfortunately the referee does blow that final whistle, and we do lose 1-0 to Manchester City in the FA Cup, which is an absolutely massive shame, as there were some big teams still left in it, but a few big teams playing each other, and we would have had a great opportunity to go further in the competition. It's not meant to be. No silverware thus far this season, unless we can peg back Chelsea. But of course, man of the match, I think that was quite simple. It has to be Adrian for me. He put on some absolutely epic saves. Andy Carroll was expecting a bigger role at the club when his contract was offered, but at the same time he has to remember we have fierce competition. I'll talk about the competition up top as you guys have a wee look at some of the youth players that we have in the actual in the youth system. Some that we're going to reject, some we're going to add to the youth system, some we're just going to continue scout and get a couple into the academy, and the rest just scout. Predominantly it's not really impressive, but talking about Andy Carroll, you know, he wants to get back in the side, which is fair dues, and I love that passion, I love that determination from the young man, but at the same time, he's got to remember we've got some fierce competition. We've got Enner Valencia, who's due back from injury anytime. We've got Saka, who's come back from injury. He's playing well up top. On top of that, you've got Yusuf Poulsen pushing for a position, constantly knocking on my door, performing well in training, wanting to play up top. So it's not as simple as, oh, I'm Andy Carroll, I demand a place in the team, or I should have one guaranteed. It doesn't work that way at all. He's got to fight for his position, and he's now got to fight harder, because Valencia is back with the squad. He's about 2 weeks away from being fully fit. So it's really going to be more competition for Andy Carroll. He's going to have to up his game 100% to not only stay in the first team, but to nail a first team position. There you can see Spurs are only 4 points behind us. There's a bit of a gap developing between ourselves and Chelsea, but we are still second in the table. Going back to our old formation, which I feel we'll feel a lot more comfortable with. Hopefully we can turn around and put in a bit of a better performance compared to the last 3 games we've seen, where we haven't really performed that well. We haven't played well at all in any way, shape or form. We haven't been very clinical. The only highlight has probably been Davy Klaassen from the Arsenal-Manchester United games, putting some solid performances, but a solid performance from a player is just not good enough. We need an all-round solid team performance, and hopefully the iron gates will be closed. As Sakho picks the ball up into Yusuf Poulsen. Poulsen receives the ball back into Sakho, and Sakho strikes straight away. 8th minute of the game, and we take a 1-0 lead against Crystal Palace. The old formation already has paid dividend. We look a lot more comfortable. We look a lot better moving the ball around. I'm sorry I said Yusuf Poulsen. It's completely and utterly wrong. It's Andy Carroll who I've put back in the side. Talking about competition, he's got a lot to prove and a lot to show as he's breaking through. Carroll onto his strong left foot. Great save from Speroni, and Downing with the shot high, wide and not very handsome over the bar, which is a little bit disappointing. But Mullen doing a great job in centre midfield, drifting forward with such pace and such ability. Has the shot, but unfortunately the shot is fired wide. But the referee does award a penalty. I do feel that tackle was outside the box. I feel it was just on the edge, but the referee has awarded it as if it was inside. You'll see here, he just catches him, and you can see the white line by the green boot, or sorry, by the orange boot. That is the actual 18-yard box. It shouldn't have been a penalty, but Mark Cockney, genius Noble, will stick that in the back of the net. I'm not going to complain, you know. I feel this season we've had a few things go for us. That goal against Arsenal, you know, when Shezers didn't do anything, didn't react, and obviously that penalty there, really a little bit harsh on Crystal Palace, but that's the way the game goes. As Noble with a great shot, but Speroni yet again with an absolutely world-class save. You can see we're playing a lot better football. We're creating a lot more chances. We're having more efforts on goal. We're definitely sticking with that 4-1-2-1-2. It's definitely working out at this moment in time as we're going at half-time with our chests pumped out and our head held high with a 2-0 lead over Palace. Palace to kick off the second half. Hopefully we can do the job, put the game to bed and move on to the next game, which would be absolutely fantastic. But Palace are straight back in, and Long, with the first opportunity of the game for Palace, sprays that wide. A really god-awful. God-awful. Oh my God, how bad was that? But the corner, the West Ham corner with James Collins coming in there. Look at this for a header. Absolute powerhouse. Bang, son. Bang. Speroni coming out to the edge of that 6-yard box, getting himself in a little bit of no man's land there, not really knowing what to do. Mark Noble was going in with James Collins, and you will see Noble go down. Noble went down like an absolute sack of shit as Collins wanted to win that header at any cost. And unfortunately, it was at the cost of poor Mark Cockney genius Noble. But Palace are coming straight back at us. Little bit of sloppy defending there. Allows Balassi in for a simplistic goal. We should have cleared the ball. We didn't clear the ball, which is really frustrating. I was hoping to keep those iron gates shut, but unfortunately Crystal Palace just wedged them open. We have a great opportunity there, but I do believe that is offside. Great ball in from Chambers, pushing forward from that right back position into Downing, but Downing just got himself ahead of the centre-back, and unfortunately that goal was ruled out for offside as we enter the last moments of the game. Can we hold Palace out? Can we keep hold of our 2-goal lead? Palace to swing the cross in, and that's a really quite poor cross from Crystal Palace in the safe hands of Adrian. He knocks it out to Diego Poyet, and the referee calls time in the game, and we stroll in with a 3-1 victory. And the man of the match for me personally has to go to James Collins. He done a fantastic job that probably went unnoticed in defence, and he scored an absolutely barbaric goal where he took out Mark Noble. So for those reasons, I feel like he deserves the man of the match. A really unsung hero this season for us, to be quite honest. And these are young lads in the West Ham Youth Academy. Have a brief look at them. Let me know what you think of the actual lads in the Youth Academy. There's a couple of players I've got my weedy little eye on. I'm looking at Kovic and Thompson, potential players. But until next time, I will catch you later.
I used to dream about cars.